For most of us, technology is a tool to improve our lives, but for people with disabilities, technology can radically change their day-to-day reality. An Israeli project wants to find and help startups that can do exactly that. A3I, which stands for Accelerating Inclusion in Israel, is the first accelerator program dedicated to ventures that improve the quality of lives for people with disabilities. A3I Accelerator nurtures innovative high-tech entrepreneurs addressing the needs of the disabled. One of those startups is Abilisense, an app that can help people with hearing problems understand their surroundings by translating sound into alerts. What does that mean? Well, watch the video pitch before we'll take a deeper look in this project. With me in the studio is Erez Lugashi, CEO of Abilisense, and Benji Mao, Director of International Resource at Beit Issie Shapiro. Good evening. Good evening. Benji, tell us more about the accelerator and the idea behind it.
So, as you said, we believe that you can change and improve the quality of life of a child with a disability. And at Beit Issie Shapiro, we adhere to a well-known saying that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So we partnered with an amazing organization called PresenTense, and with the partnership of the Ruderman Family Foundation and the Jewish Federation in Los Angeles, we established Israel's first ever accelerator promoting innovations to help people with disabilities that actually is a world pioneer as well. The way it works is we put out a call for papers and invite people with or without disabilities that have amazing ideas to present them to us. We choose those that we think have the best chance to make a difference, and through a very intense process, we give them the tools they need, both connected to Beit Issie Shapiro's expertise, which is disabilities, and PresenTense's expertise in social entrepreneurship to enable them to make a difference. We just launched now the second round, and we couldn't be thrilled more with the results because we really believe that Israel can be the startup nation also in the field of disabilities.
Sounds amazing. How were the responses when you sent the call out? I mean, were many startups and people and ideas coming to offer their ideas?
It's amazing how many people really care about making a difference, and when you can combine it with the corporate world and business, then it becomes truly a win-win. Beit Issie Shapiro received Israel's award as the most effective non-for-profit, and we got that because we love to collaborate. And this kind of collaboration between business and innovators, people with disabilities, their families, all together means that we're literally swamped, and we're looking forward to investors even to the next round once we can get that one going.
Amazing. Erez, good evening.
Good evening.
So how did you come up with this really brilliant startup?
Actually, it was in our last war here. I was running into my shelter with my dog, and I was thinking to myself, what happened to people that cannot hear? Now, in the middle of the night, they don't have anyone that can explain to them what happened to them. So I rolled the idea for months. Then I saw an ad of A3I. I thought about applying for that. I applied. They loved the idea, and they turned the dream to reality. And now people can be accessed all around the world to sounds.
So let's see the product itself.
Yes.
So there's a watch.
The watch now is acting as a sensor. It's sensing the sound in the environment, and then it transforms the sound into information. The information will be pushed. It can be into your wearables. It can be into your mobiles, through your PC.
We made it vibrates?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's demonstrate, for example.
This is our application. We put in the sensor and listen. And then
It's the sound of a phone
this
call.
is the sound of a phone call. This is the sound of a smoke alarm.
Wow.
Yes,
Very simple, very
simple.
very effective.
Yes.
So the person needs to buy the watch itself, or it's an app you
Actually,
can download on your...
Yeah, it will be an app that a person will buy a Apple Watch or Android watch. We are not developing watches because we wanted to open it to everyone.
Good. I mean, I think the next question is for the both of you. I think the social value of such inclusive accessibility startups is clear. What about also the possibility for good business?
Listen, there's 1 billion people in the world with disabilities. From a market point of view, that's an amazing opportunity. And what is exciting about what we're doing is the fact that a lot of these innovations have universal application. So in this case, this innovation, which is amazing, talks about people with hearing with disabilities, but people that are aging have the same issues. And therefore, a lot of what we're doing can be applied universally and has tremendous market potential.
What do you have to say?
I have to agree with him. This product can turn every shop or every business, every home to accessible to sounds. So people will not have to be limited by their disability.
But usually where there's big money, you have big tech companies, and in all the disabled agenda, you don't find the big tech companies. How can you explain that?
I think it's a process that's changing. The model that Beit Issie Shapiro and PresenTense put together around the accelerator has mentors, volunteers. We know that all of us can do different things to help change the world by giving money and by volunteering. So these are our representatives. Some of the major countries can volunteer and hook them in. And I think it's a matter of time that they begin to see that process and see that change, how to take the seed of a little idea and have it grow. And there are areas, and certainly other businesses and in high tech, where we've had collaboration at Beit Issie with such serious players like Google Campus and with Apple that are showing that those bigger companies are going to get interested in it, as well as government. Last night at this accelerator launch, we had representatives of the government, the chief scientist of Israel, and the welfare ministry that also see the importance, and it's that win-win of the private sector, the public sector, and the nonprofit sector working together. It's going to make us change the world through this technology.
I'm really curious if you have more apps or startups from this year's accelerator you would like to mention.
There are many, and it was really exciting and moving. Imagine the millions of parents in the world who are using wheelchairs. How difficult could it be for them to push a stroller with their baby? One of the groups came up with a solution. One of the innovations to solve that issue. Okay? How many of us know the fact that 25% of the people with disabilities in the world don't have access to internet sites because they're not accessible? And companies are hesitant to do that. They don't understand the cost. One of the innovators came up with a very cost-efficient way to make websites accessible for people with disabilities. And that's another example that's going to have universal design application as well. And I could go on more than the time that we probably have. Very exciting.
Time is up. Thank you very much. For coming and for developing and for accelerating and for all the lovely work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for this opportunity.